Today we're going to make this crochet bird bunting. So if you go to my Etsy shop, there's a link in the comments. You can buy the kit there, or you can just use your scrap yarn and follow along with the video. You'll just need some safety eyes. These won't come out, and you'll need a 4mm hook and a darning needle and just some scissors to snip off the ends. So we're going to make one of these today, and I'm going to do it in this gorgeous green with the pink wing and beak. So I'll just pop these out of the way and then we can get started. So if you make 4 chain to start, and we're going to then slip stitch and make that into a circle. So 4 chain, and make your inner circle. There we go. Now this is crochet cotton. You can make this with double knitting if you've got some spare or you want to practice. Double knitting doesn't split as much. So that's our first circle. The first round we're going to do 1 chain, and we're going to do 9 double crochets into the circle. So double crochets in English is single crochets in American, if you're doing it in US terms, or you know them better. So we'll do 9 double crochets for the first round. Just get quite tight around here. So that's my 8th one, and we'll go 9, and then you're going to join with a slip stitch to that first stitch here. I can tell that's going to be quite tight. Let's just try that bit there. There we go. Okay, so now we've got our first round done. The second round is 1 chain and 2 double crochets into each stitch to the end. This is, I'm cursing myself now for doing this too tight, but here we are. So 2 double crochets or single crochets, if you're working in American terms, into each stitch round. And I'm aware I've pulled that next one, but we can hide that. There, it's gone. So if you want, you can just follow along with your own yarn, as I said, or you can find the kit on my website. There's a link in the description, or on my Etsy shop. The name of the shop is the Crochet Web. You'll get all the eyes you need. You'll get your hook, a needle, and you get the branded tote bag as well. So at the end of this round, you should have got 18 stitches. So the way you can count your stitches is, you see the little V's, you can just count those around the top. All the instructions are on the pattern that comes with the kit as well. And they've all been tried and tested. Right, so 18 stitches you should have had go around on this round. And then we're going to join again with a slip stitch to join that round up. Now that one's a little easier. Hope you're having more luck. Okay, so that's 2 out of the 3 rounds done to make the bird's body. The third round is 1 chain and then 1 double crochet into the next stitch and then 2 double crochets into the next. So you're going to repeat 1 and then 2. So it goes 1 and 2. It's a bit like amigurumi. It's good practice for that. It's good practice for any of your stitches if you're quite new to crochet. So you will practice 4 main stitches doing this. Just 2 into that one. Okay, I'm going to pause the video and carry on, and then I'll meet you back at this bit here. Okay, so finish round 3 nearly. You should have got 27 stitches all the way around here. Now I've just got 1 more to do. You need to finish on a single double crochet and then slip stitch to finish off that round. So now what we're going to do is, don't fasten off, you need to work your tail from here. So this is this bit that comes off here. So to work your tail, we're going to do 7 chain. There we go. And then you're going to work down these 7 chains. So into the second chain from your hook, you need to do 1 double crochet. I am working in UK terms. And then it's a half treble into the next 2. So a half treble is yarn round, in you go, and pull through all 3 on your hook. So another half treble in the next stitch, yarn round, pull through all 3. And then the next 2 stitches is a treble. So yarn round and in you go, yarn round and you've got 3 on. So treble, you need to go round through 2, round and through 2. So treble is in to your chain, through, you've got 3 on your hook, round through 2, round and through 2. And then the last stitch, you need to do a double treble. So that's twice round your hook, into that last stitch, through 2, through 2 and through 2. So now you need to mist 4 stitches from the bottom of the tail. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the 5th stitch you need to attach that tail with a slip stitch. Okay, and we're still not fastening off. So you can see there, you've got the tail. So we're going to carry on round. We're going to do a slip stitch into each of the next 4 stitches. So slip stitch in 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry about that little interruption. So we've done 1 slip stitch into each of the next 4 stitches round. Now we're going to do the head, which, as you can see, is like a rounded section at the top. Excuse me. So you're going to miss 2 stitches, totally miss them, and do a treble into the next, into here. And then we're going to do 7 trebles in total into that stitch to make the rounded bumpy bit of the bird's head. That's 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. And then the same as the other side, you're going to miss 2 stitches. So I missed these 2, and then a slip stitch into this section. And then just to make it the same size all the way around, you're going to slip stitch all the way around to the base of the tail. Just to give it that neat edge. I've caught a strand again. So in the kit you get all these gorgeous colour yarns, and you get enough to make the bunting, the string of the bunting as well. It would look lovely in a kid's playroom, nursery, hung out for a garden party. Okay, so we're right at the end now. Just going to fasten that up to the tail, and then we fasten off that section that really doesn't want to not split. We fasten off there, and then we're going to make the wing. So you need to grab your alternative colour. You will get the eyes as well, by the way. These little safety eyes are included in the kit. Now I'm going to snip that back one off because that's all crocheted in, and then we've got less to sew in at the end. So for the wing you need the contrast colour, and using this you're going to make your slip knot and 7 chain. So that's the length of, this is what we're making. It's the length of the wing, and you're going to do 1 double crochet into the first chain from the hook, 1/2 treble into the next 2. It's quite like the tail really. Same kind of pattern. So another 1/2 treble. This is a really splitty yarn at the moment. And then a treble into each of the next 2. So we're increasing in size all the time. So treble and another treble. And then you're going to do a double treble into the last stitch. There we go. And that is your wing. So you can fasten that off. You can either sew it on now or sew it on in the end. I will show you how that sits on the bird. So it's just got the peak of the wing off, and then you can just cover up that hole in the middle with the bottom of the wing. So that will just sew on there. And the next thing we're going to do is the beak, and this you will crochet directly on to the bird. So let's do our slip knot. So to find where you join, you need to count where your 7 trebles are. And so mine are there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're the longest, obviously, stitches of the head. And you need to find the second one up. So this one. And we're going to go straight in there. This is where the beak goes. So we're just joining the yarn. And then work 1 double crochet into the same stitch. I'm getting tangled with my tail yarn. 1 double crochet. That tail yarn is not behaving. There we go. And then you need to do a 1/2 treble and then another double crochet into that same stitch, and it just gives it a nice cutesy little, not too pecky beak. Nice little rounded beak. And that's, if you want to pop another little slip stitch in there to bring it right down. And then you can fasten this off. I'll show you what that looks like. There we go. Lovely. So this is the original. This is ours. So I'm going to go away and sew these on and trim my ends in, sew my ends in, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how to fit the eye. See you in a minute. Okay, so I've sewn on the wing, sewn in all the ends of everything else, and the last thing to do is to get your eye, and it literally goes through the hole, the natural hole there, which seems to land perfectly. And then on the back, put your safety thing, make sure it's snapped in tight, and there you have another bird to go on your bunting. Thank you so much for watching. You can subscribe, I would really appreciate that as I grow the channel, and you can find the pattern and the kit links in the description. Thank you. See you later.